Well, I haven't put up a video in a while, so I thought I'd put one up, and this one's going to be on changing a light ballast. I got a fixture here that just doesn't seem to light up anymore. It doesn't matter where the switch is, or I changed the tubes, that didn't make any difference, so I'm assuming it's a bad ballast. So I got a ballast here to change it. Hopefully that works. It's the same ballast as in the lamp. But anyway, I'm feeling better every day. A little health update here. The radiation sickness is wearing off. I haven't had a headache in about 5 days now, and I haven't taken a nap in about 4 or 5 days, and been tearing into the gardens, getting them ready for winter, and feel much better. Tomorrow I'm going in to get my blood draw, and then Halloween Day I'll see the urologist, see what my PSA is, and we'll go from there. So anyway, let me get to getting this light fixture down so I can put a new ballast in it. Just thought I'd better put this in for some of you that don't know how to change the tubes. You turn it a quarter turn, and it just lifts out with slots. It turns a little thing in there. These are F32TA TL850 800 series 32 watt bulbs. I like daylight bulbs, so that's what these are. These bulbs are probably at least 10 years in use, so they've been around a while. All right, I got a couple Phillips screws, and fixture will be apart, and we'll be to the ballast. These ballasts are pretty cut and dry. The black and white are your power leads. The one white went here, the one black went here. There's a power switch there. That's right there. That's why the black goes through the switch and back. Otherwise it would just go from here to there if it didn't have the switch. And then the white, like I say, is the neutral, and that just pushes up in there. I took that plastic off to get the white wire out, and then the blues just go to the other end of the fixture here. So let me undo this screw and get the ballast out, and then we can, it looks like just one screw holds the ballast in. You just undo it like so. No big deal. I don't even know why I'm videoing this. I think most people could do this, but some people like my how-to videos. And then this lifts out like so, and we'll disconnect it from that end too, and get this red wire off, and hopefully we can get this light fixture working again. I'm going to use a soldering gun I picked up in an estate sale a while back for soldering the wires for the new ballast, and I'll just kind of give you a little quickie view of the tags. And it even had a little package of solder in there, which is right here, which I'm going to use. And eventually I'm going to give this away on my channel for my 10,000 subscribers, which now I am well over, but I am going to, when I get to doing good, I'm going to do a giveaway with this. And right now I'm going to use it though. So anyway, let me see if I can set this up so you can see how I solder my wires and whatnot. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall. I really need 4 hands to do this. But anyway, I'm going to heat the soldering gun up and do what's called tin the tip. And hopefully I'm going to do it over this so I don't burn my legs. So you get the tip, a little solder on it. Flick the excess off on the floor or on concrete or something so you don't want to burn holes in cloth or carpet or fabric. And then I'm going to put the heat on the part I want to solder. And this is hard to do. I'm holding everything. And then I'm going to feed the solder once it gets hot enough, it'll suck the solder right in. And the soldering gun isn't getting terribly hot. I'm wondering if it needs to, sometimes you got to tighten these nuts up here and here to get good connection. So if it doesn't solder here in a second, oh, there it goes. There's one joint soldered. It's hard to do this with everything kind of hanging loose, and there, it just sucked in the solder on that one too. So there we go. That's how I solder, and then the soldering gun you know, just let it cool down. But I think I'm going to tighten these two nuts up right here, because if they get loose or the connection's bad, your tip doesn't heat up as well. There we go, new ballast installed. Put the reflector back on and see if the unit lights up. Well, I cleaned the reflector and the bulbs. They're pretty dirty, but let's plug it in and see what happens here. Voila, we got light. All right, let me hang that back up. So the reason why I replaced the ballast was about 20 bucks. And the light fixtures are probably about the same price. But I can't buy these same light fixtures anymore. You go to all the places, nobody carries the fluorescent fixtures that look like this. They're all LED and they completely different look. And I don't want a hodgepodge of fixtures in the garage. So unless I replace all the fixtures, there's 4 lights in a row. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, a dozen light fixtures at $25, $30 a piece isn't cheap. So I bought all these at once when I did the garage up, and they're cold weather start ballast too, but you can see the bulbs still flicker a little bit until they get warmed up, but they don't burn out. These are 10-year-old fixtures, and most of them still have their original bulbs in them, and they're on a lot. And so, you know, they're good fixtures, and they're worth keeping going. So if I get a bad ballast, yeah, I'm going to fix it. Now, typically a ballast, they like to have to be broken in, I guess, so to speak, is what they say. So you leave them on for like 24 hours, but I'm not going to do that. They're on enough in here to where it'll get broken in. But anyway, there we go. We got the fixture fixed. Let me hang it back up here. There we go, a working ballast, and all of the fixtures work, and they're all the same. I don't have an oddball fixture up there with LEDs. I want to try and just keep them all working as long as I can. When I can't get parts for them anymore to keep them going, I'll switch them all out. But I think in the meantime, I'm going to order an extra ballast or two, just so in the future, if another one burns out, I have it and can change it. It took me a week to get that ballast. It was like, with shipping, I think it was $22. And so they're not terribly expensive. They're cold weather ballast. And when I say cold weather ballast, if you use fluorescent fixtures in your cold shops, you turn them on and they flicker and flicker and flicker and take forever to come on. These ones flicker and take a little bit to come on, but not as long as what a non-cold weather ballast. And the flickering of those light fixtures is actually what I think burns those ballasts out. And when you turn those non-cold weather ones on in cold weather all the time, it eventually burns the ballast out. These ballasts, they last, well, these fixtures are 10 years old, and all the bulbs are, I put all new fixtures and all new bulbs in at the same time. And when a bulb burns out, I write on it with a Sharpie the date I replaced it, so I know how old the bulbs are. But they're all Phillips. Well, you can't see the writing on it, but anyway, they're all Phillips bulbs. I bought 2 cases of them, and I still got one case. I think they're a case of 12. One case that's only out like 2 or 3 bulbs. In the 10 years I've had these fixtures, I've replaced maybe 2 or 3 bulbs. So anyway, they're all good. That's it on the fixtures. A little yapping now about cars and maybe projects. So my friend Dave emailed me a 59 Bel Air 4-door sedan that's for sale locally. And it's in the colors of Martin's 59 Chevy. It's Gothic Gold Poly and Satin Beige. And it was 6-cylinder power glide car and need a complete restoration. And I already have one 4-door sedan 59 Chevy, so I don't think I'd do another. If I had the room, I would buy it and keep it for parts, or maybe fix it up to resell. But I just don't have a lot of space, and I'd rather do a car I haven't done. You know, I mean, I own a 59 four-door sedan, so I don't really want to get into a second one. Now, I would get into a 59 Parkwood or El Camino, but when it comes right down to it, I like to do different cars, you know, that way it's more fun, get all kinds of cool, neat old cars to play with. And I've had my eye, and I've talked to this guy, old man with this. He's the original owner. He's in his 90s. It's a 60 Fury station wagon that's missing its engine. He bought it brand new in Phoenix or Tucson. I don't remember what he told me, but either Phoenix or Tucson, Arizona. I'm going to sit down here. So anyway, then he moved to, I think he bought it new in Phoenix and moved to Tucson and then moved to Michigan in 72 or 75. I don't remember. It's been a while since I talked to him now. But it blew a hose on his way to Michigan and overheated the engine. And he said he put a new hose on it and they got it going. But after that, he said it used oil. He said he was putting a quart of oil in almost every tank of gas. So when he relocated to Michigan, he bought another car and then took the engine out of the 60 Fury to have it rebuilt and took it to a rebuilder. And then when they gave him a quote on rebuilding it, he opted not to rebuild the engine and apparently never got the engine back from him. Apparently it was all disassembled and he just left it. So the car has no engine in it, but it's all there otherwise. Fairly solid, being from the, you know, never seeing salt water, being from the Southwest. And but the interior's rough, the paint's rough. You know, it needs a total 100% restoration, but it's all there. It's been indoor kept all these years, and he doesn't want to sell the car. That's the bottom line. He wants to restore it. His son remembers riding in the car when he was a kid, much like I remember riding in my dad's 59 Parkwood when I was a kid. And I'll put a picture of that here. And then he wants it fixed up so his son, he can give it to his son. And his son really, I don't know, I think he's up in the air because he was the one that kind of told me about the car, his dad's car. I think he would like to see it restored, but I don't think he really is interested in owning the car. That's kind of the impression I get from talking to him. Now, this is a two-tone blue and white, just like Scott's at Cold War Motors. Super cool looking car, but like I say, it needs a complete and total major restoration, but its sheet metal is solids, and I'm trying my darndest to get the 92-year-old original owner to part with it. He just doesn't quite want to part with it. So maybe, you know, years down the road, it'll be a project. Who knows? But anyway, just kind of filling you in. I kind of been keeping my eye out. Like I say, thanks, Dave, for sending that 59 Bel Air. That was super fun to look at. And yeah, I gave it some serious thought, you know, but it's like, I have a Bel Air four-door sedan, you know, and I know what their value is. Something like that's value is restored, and I know what it's going to cost to put it in that condition, and there's really not a lot of money into it. I do this hobby because I enjoy old cars, and I like to make a little bit of money to put towards the next project car. You know, that's how I keep my projects going, is from money I make from past projects. I just invest into more projects. So, you know, I kind of got to watch what if I'm not going to make anything, then I'm not going to have much for the next project. So that's the way it works. And, you know, Bel Air four-doors are becoming popular because all the two-doors and coupes and convertibles are just, excuse me, out of this world in price, you know. It's just nuts. Even the wagons. I'd love to do a wagon, but my Lord, they're horrifically expensive. I saw one at a Brookwood on Bring a Trailer, and it was in running driving condition, but boy, was the body rough. And I mean, it was the point where you're going to need two parts cars to put it together. And, you know, hoping that the two parts cars aren't as rough, or maybe three parts cars, or who knows what. You're going to need a lot of parts because it was that rotted in all four doors were in need of replacement. The front fenders were okay. The rear quarters were wiped out around the wheel wells, and the floor pans were gone. So, you know, it needs a lot of work. And if I'm going to put that kind of work into a wagon, it's going to be a Parkwood, something I'm going to keep because I'm not going to make a ton of money if I dump a ton of money into it. And if I did a Parkwood wagon, I would keep it. 59, of course. But and that Fury, who knows? I mean, those are super cool cars too. So that might even be a possible keeper. But you never know. You know, I restore them, then I drive them for a while, and kind of like, oh, let's move on to something different and have fun with something else. And then I, you know, end up selling it and looking for something else. But anyway, I'm just kind of, you know, still working on my health, getting my health better to where it's 100%, where I can really come out here and rip into cars. I'm feeling better every day. Haven't had a headache in 4 or 5 days now. I haven't had to take a nap in 4 or 5 days. I've been working in the gardens, getting them ready for winter, just really moving along, feeling, you know, much, much better day by day. So anyway, just kind of wanted to yap a little bit about future projects. And again, Dave, thank you for sending that 59 Bel Air. I enjoyed seeing it and really considered it. But again, you know, I have to really use my head here, not my, you know, love for cars, and decided that wouldn't have been a project I would want to tackle. I'll let somebody else enjoy that car. I found, you know, I'm not one of those type that likes to do the same car twice. And I don't consider a 59 Parkwood the same as a Bel Air. It's, you know, 4-door. It's a different car. It's a wagon. And I like wagons. I always have. I've owned a ton of them over the years, mostly Ford Country Squires. I like the fake wood grain, and Ford was a wagon master and, you know, the king of station wagons, and I just like Ford station wagons. But anyway, I'm just rambling on, like I say, so I'll end the video here. And if you liked it, and I know it was a kind of a boring video of just changing a ballast, but I think the yapping here outtimes the ballast on the light fixture. But anyway, if you liked the video, definitely hit the thumbs up. If you like my channel, at 348 engine icon will subscribe you. And thank you for watching my video.